everyone. Welcome to day 4 of the 5-day challenge, Invisible to Unstoppable. Let me know that you can see me and hear me by dropping a smiley face, a heart, your favorite emoji in the comments. If you're hopping on live, you can comment hashtag live in the comments. And for those of you that are catching replay, comment replay below. So like I said, it's day 4. We are almost there. Tomorrow is the last day of the 5-day challenge. Those of you that have been participating in the challenge and taking action, I absolutely applaud you. You are taking the resources in front of you and actually putting in the work so you can see the results and benefits from implementing the knowledge you have. So really, really work hard, push yourself, and take action on these challenge days. If you haven't watched day 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you're watching live right now, I recommend you watch live so you can interact with this while I am live. But if you're watching replay, go back, watch the first 3 trainings first before you watch this one, because you want to build those foundations up until this training stage. So we're talking about direct messaging today. Yesterday, we went over lead generation. So why you need lead generation systems, adjusting your current lead generation system and evaluating, do I even have one in place, or how can I adjust it so it's a more effective source of leads? And comparing what a lead means versus a quality lead. So lead is just somebody expressing interest in your service, where a quality lead is your ideal client expressing interest in your service. Then we went over the hot lead generation funnel, so the 3-step method where you can mix and match the steps along the way that your lead is going to go through to qualify them and ultimately take action in the way you want them to take action. We went over, do you know the steps of taking them to a lead, from a lead into a paying client, and figuring out how many steps, and if you don't have those steps, figuring out what hasn't and has worked for you in the past in gaining clients or people not becoming your client, figuring out that process and nailing it down so you can get a repetition in your results. Because when you repeat processes that work, you get a repetition in the results. Your day 3 challenge was to create a lead magnet. Feel free to drop it in this group or tag me in your lead magnet or share it in my other group, Ambitious Women Entrepreneurs and Coaches, because I want you to generate leads from what you're creating. I want you to be attracting your ideal clients, and I want them to be taking action in the ways you want them to, so you can help transform their lives with your service and you as an online provider. So let me know in the comments what lead magnet you decided to go with it. Was it free download? Did you decide you're going to do a webinar, or have you filmed a video training? Let me know what format of lead magnet you decided on, as well as the topic. It's so interesting with the different industries and niches. There's just about everything out there, so I'm sure the topics vary from person to person about what your lead magnet is about. So just drop it in the comments, and possibly somebody else doing this challenge will be interested in your lead magnet. So today, day 4, what are we going over with direct messaging? We're going over the stigma that is surrounding direct messaging and breaking it down of why that may be and why you may feel a certain way about direct messaging currently. Then we're going to talk about why you should be direct messaging. What are the benefits of direct messaging? How you feel about it, the DMs do's and don'ts, because there's definitely do's and don'ts for DMing. And what's the difference between messaging somebody and hopping on a video call? What's the difference between a sales call and selling in the DMs? And then your day 4 challenge, so you can take action on what you learn and take away today, put it in your business so you can see the growth from these methods. And of course, ending with that Q&A. So dropping any questions you have throughout today's training in the comments, and I'll be checking on my phone to make sure that your questions are answered. If you're watching replay, feel free to drop it in the comments and I can get to your question on tomorrow's live. I'm going to check on my phone here to make sure you're seeing and hearing me. So just make sure to comment live if you're live right now. Says it's live. Perfect. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Myra. Awesome. So direct messaging, getting into it. What's the stigma currently around direct messaging? You probably know a few of these. If I could pin it down to the 3 major blocks or stigmas around direct messaging, these are the 3 words I would use to describe it. Salesy, spammy, and rude. Let me know in the comments, when you think of direct messaging, what comes to mind? Is it a negative word or is it a positive word? Maybe it's a neutral word. Let me know in the comments. So salesy, you've probably experienced all 3 of these types of direct messaging. Salesy can be somebody just pitching to you right away. Maybe you say hi to them first, or they say hi to you first, and then all of a sudden they're telling you about their paid program that's coming out. Or possibly, they just send you a link with no explanation, no introduction of who they are, where they're coming from, how they find you. And it really shows, or it's expressing that they don't really see you as an individual. They don't really care about you or what you're doing. They're just trying to make a sale. That is what salesy means. They're just trying to make a sale. That is the purpose. And they're not necessarily caring about who's on the other side of the screen. Spammy, those are the people that continue to message you and message you. Maybe they've messaged you 5 times and you haven't responded and they continue to message you. Or maybe you responded, they message you, you respond once, and then they continue to message you without you expressing interest in what they're saying or what they're offering. So you do not want to be that person that is bombarding people with messages without them asking you to share the info you're sharing. And then rude. Some people have had negative and rude experiences in the DMs. And this could be a response to you outreaching because of people that don't like being messaged. So salesy, spammy, and rude, if this is how you're feeling about direct messaging, I'm hoping that you can see the other side of direct messaging that aren't these negative thoughts or words. It does not have to be this way. So the benefits of direct messaging and pinning it down and simplifying it is relationship, trust, and exposure. So in a relationship, when you're in a relationship with a person, a friendship, whatever it may be, it's not a one-way street. It's a 2-way street. You're both contributing to a healthy relationship. You are both contributing. You're both putting in effort. You are both supporting each other. And that is what DMs allow. You are opened up to truly connect with people further than just sticking in your group or sticking to commenting on posts. Direct messaging is a more intimate way of connecting with your community and possibly your ideal client. So in a relationship, you're not just thinking me, 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 you're thinking, how can I help them? And they're thinking, how can I help you? It's both of you benefiting. And that's what I want you to have in mind going into people's DMs. The second key word to the benefit of DMing is trust. So when you're being authentic in the DMs, you are beginning to build that trust because people like people that are real, and people can tell when people are being fake or real for the most part, because you can only, I guess you could say, hide things or not express your true intentions for so long. Intention shows, so your intention matters. So going into it thinking, how can I help this person? How can I support this person? And how can we build a thriving connection online and support each other in the best way? Building that trust is by showing up, okay? Exposure. Exposure meaning people might not be seeing your content. And this is one of the absolute key elements of direct messaging. Because even if you are posting about something 3 times every day, it is not necessarily showing up for everybody. Depending on the algorithm, depending on what times of the day they're on their social media, depending on if they even see your profile at all, they might not see what you're putting out there. So you're opening up an opportunity for them to benefit, which furthers your exposure because more people are hearing about what you're doing. For example, let's say somebody came into my group, I welcomed them into my group, and the conversation ended there. Great. 1 month later, I'm doing a free workshop that I think would benefit them. I'm not afraid to hop in there and tell them about, hey, did you see my workshop going on? If you're interested, I'd love to send you the link. Notice how I was saying I had them in mind, how it would benefit them, not me. And I asked them permission. If they are interested, great, I can give you the info. Or here's the link, join if this is something that you would like. See how that's much more friendly, welcoming, and beneficial to both parties rather than saying, join my workshop, enroll now. Even though it's a free offer and you think it's going to benefit them, it really does matter in the way you are messaging, in the words you're using, and the way you're asking for permission or expressing what you have going on. So relationship is about the win-wins. How can you support each other? The trust is the authenticity, being true to yourself and showing up in the DMs and online and offline, all in the same manner and having good intentions with your actions. Exposure is that opportunity to share what you have going on that can benefit both them and you. Not communicating is missed opportunity. And this is why I feel so strongly about the positive aspects of direct messaging. Some people do not like direct messaging, and they do not like being direct messaged to. And as you go into starting to possibly direct message people more, it's just going to happen where some people either feel that you've rubbed them the wrong way or they don't like your approach. And that's just a part of it. Because for me, I've received way more benefits from direct messaging people than negative experiences. So don't let those couple negative experiences deter you away from letting people know about what's going on and how you can support them. Again, it does matter the wording you're using and allowing people to have a choice in the way they're moving forward and not coming across in a demanding, spamming, or salesy way. But if you're not direct messaging, you are taking out a part of communication here online. Direct messaging is one of the key elements of communication here on social media. So when people say they're not direct messaging or they don't like that approach, I'm wondering, what type of DM approach do you not like? Because there are very different types of direct messaging approaches. And I totally understand if you don't like being sent 5 messages at once with a link and no interest in what you are doing or how it's going to benefit you. But I don't understand if people aren't willing to communicate with people that are part of their groups or become Facebook friends. So if you're not communicating, you are missing out on opportunities. Right now, I want you to drop in the comments, how do you feel about direct messaging on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being you hate it. You don't like direct messaging. You do not want to do it. You don't think it's for you. 5 being you're on kind of the fence of, yeah, it's all right, but I also don't do it that much. And 10 is like, direct messaging is my favorite thing ever. I think it's a great way to communicate and I love it. I do it all the time. So let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 where you're at in your mentality for direct messaging. And notice the way you feel about the actions you take in your business greatly affect the outcome of the actions. This statement could not be more true. When I wrote this out, I was like, this is so true, because when I feel like I don't want to do something in my business, I don't express it well, or I don't end up doing it. I end up procrastinating it, whatever it may be. But when there's something I like doing in my business, I am showing up better, I'm showing up authentically, and I'm excited. I have an energy to me, and people can feel and see that. I like delivering these free trainings. I truly, truly do, because I feel like I am truly supporting my community in a way that I can. And some people maybe don't like doing lives like this. And I definitely didn't at the beginning. But as I started to warm myself up to it, I changed my mentality toward it and I practiced, it became something that I enjoy doing because I hear the response and that's what fuels my fire. Seeing that is helping people in growing their business. And that is what I'm here to do, help people live what they love doing, live their life doing their passion for their job. So on a scale of 1 to 10, if you haven't dropped it already, drop it in the comments. I'm going to check my phone right here. So a 5, a 6, a 5, and a 5. So it sounds like you guys are all kind of in the same spots. You are borderline. I would say for myself, I'm like at a 9, 9.5. I really, really like direct messaging. And I'm going to tell you why that is. It's because my intention as I go into direct messaging is a good intention. I feel good about the way I direct message people for the most part. Sometimes I look back and think, maybe that wasn't the best way to state this or, approach certain responses. But overall, I love direct messaging because I've connected with people that have benefited from my community. I've built referrals in direct messaging. I've gained clients in direct messaging. People have gained me as a client in direct messaging. So I know what it's like to be on both ends. I know what it's like for people to come into my DMs in ways I do like and don't like. And I know what it's like to be the person initiating the direct messaging. So through my experience of being on both ends, I'm able to adapt. How did this go well? How did it not go well? And I also can take the messages people send me and figure out, I didn't like the way they messaged me, or I wouldn't phrase it that way. And I can adapt the way I approach things in a way that feels true to me and I feel is going to benefit both parties. When I think of direct messaging, you've probably heard of the term, cold outreach or cold DMing or cold lead. I don't know if that's really a word that people use, but I've heard it tossed around a few times. And that is basically when you've given no interest in them reaching out to you, and then you're reaching out, or you just kind of come out of nowhere. But people seem, in my mind, to be getting mixed up with, a lead or a prospect or a possible warm lead and mixing it with cold outreach. So what I'd like to make clear is, to me, if somebody requests to be a Facebook friend of mine or accepts my Facebook friend request, to me, that is not a cold outreach because they have chosen to accept me as a friend. So I'm going to be seeing their content. They're going to see my content. And I'm here to make genuine connections online. So me saying hi in the DMs is not cold outreach, because they have taken an action to let me into their bubble. So it's no longer you coming out of nowhere. I'm their friend. And that's how I feel about the same way with people coming into my group. I really open up my group for people to benefit from it, for people to generate leads from it, for people to gain clients from it. And in saying that, when people are leveraging my group, I feel that it's an open invitation for me to connect with them, because my community is built around helping and supporting entrepreneurs. And that's what I'm doing here in the online space. So if I message somebody from my group and they're leveraging my group, it only makes sense to me that I can say hi or have a conversation or get to know them better when they're a part of my community. They've entered my bubble. So think of your outreach the same way. You want to let people know about where you're coming from if they're not sure, and being clear that, this isn't coming out of nowhere. They've taken some sort of action to become a part of your bubble. So having good intention can help break the barrier of how you are currently feeling about DM outreach. Because when you feel good about the actions you're doing and when you're showing up as yourself, you are going to become a magnet to the right people, and the right people are going to be attracted to you. So I have a 90% on average conversion rate for people joining my group from DMs. And the reason why is because I've created a 3-step method that is customizable. So I can show up as me, I can personalize my message and offer support. And as a result, people join my community. So I have simplified the process. So I'm not being salesy, I'm being authentic, and I'm showing them how I can support them further with my free offer, which is my community. If you're interested in learning more about my secret sauce of how I have such a high conversion rate for my DM strategy, you can comment sauce below. I love that word, secret sauce or special sauce. Direct messaging versus video chatting. Do you know the difference between them? They are very, very different. And these are the 3 main reasons they are different. Over messaging, you're reading, you cannot hear someone's tone. And whether it's conscious or subconscious, tone has a huge, you could say, benefit or swaying factor of how people receive your message. Another element that is taken away when you're direct messaging is body language. Body language and facial expression is a huge part of how we are actually receiving that message, how we feel about how people are saying things is a lot of silent messaging. And that is all of a sudden taken out. And the third one, when it comes to selling in the DMs, is objections. So tone, when you're thinking about tone, think about how different certain messages can sound without the element of tone. Just think about a few examples of what you could be saying and saying it in different tones in your head. That will help you understand how different a message can come across when somebody's reading on the other side. There are 2 main ways I feel that you can bring the tone into the DMs. The first one being the voice memo. They can hear your voice, they can hear the tone, and that is going to help as they receive the message. The second way that isn't verbal, but helps with the tone of the message or how people are perceiving it, is by using emojis. It's such a simple tweak to your message, but it really can make things more friendly. It can express emotion with you not actually expressing emotion yourself in your voice or your body language or your facial expression. So 2 ways you can help the tone come across in your direct messaging is the voice memos and emojis. Body language, again, that's going to more relate to the emojis because you can express possibly what your own body language or your facial expression would be through the emojis. Thirdly, objections. Going over what does an objection mean? That means when people have a hesitation in investing or committing their time or money to something you are offering, whether that's a free or paid offer. And the reason why objections are so different in direct messaging versus videoing is because they can just drop off a direct messaging chat. They don't have to respond, or they can wait to respond. Whereas on a call, they're not just going to probably click out of your call or hang up on you. And they're not going to leave you hanging for hours on the call. They have to respond promptly, and they don't have that opportunity to run away. The other way objections are very different in direct messaging versus video chatting is people might not express their objections in the DMs because they simply don't have to. They don't have to explain themselves. And again, they can just ghost you or go off the chat for a while, come back and say it's not for them. If you say why, maybe they just say it's not the right timing, I don't have the resources. And it's a lot harder, in my opinion, to deal with objections when you're not on a call with somebody. And they'll possibly not see the value in what you have to offer unless you have obviously like killer direct messaging skills or a sales copy page and they are hopping on it. But if they do have those objections, it's going to be different to handle those objections over direct messaging. Whereas on a call, let's say they can't invest right now for the reason that their partner isn't on the call. And you can say, great, can we reschedule a call so that your partner's on with you? Or do you have time right now to bring your partner in so we can talk together? Whereas they might not even bring up that objection in the DM. So you really allow an opening up of people when you're on video chatting. People are more personable. You're able to chat more like humans. It's more like being physically in person than over text. So when you're thinking about what to do in the DMs, it's also good to know what not to do. So these are 3 examples of major no-nos when it comes to effective direct messaging. So sending a long message with no introduction or personalization. So somebody messages myself and it's a huge paragraph and nowhere is my name or an explanation of who they are or how they found me or where they're coming from. It's very impersonal and it doesn't make me feel like I'm anybody special. It just feels like a copy and paste type message, which it possibly is. And you want to avoid that. You want to express that you see them, you hear them, you know what they're doing, and you're here to be friends with them or be a supportive community member of theirs. Second no is send a message to someone who has not interacted with, there's P's instead of O's in Facebook, a Facebook friend or a part of your group. So again, that's that cold outreach that a lot of people do not like. So if they haven't posted on one of your posts, if they haven't interacted on one of your posts, or they're not your Facebook friend, or they're not your Instagram follower, or they're not connected with you on LinkedIn, that is going to be that cold outreach, which a lot of people don't respond to. And the people that I would say have success in cold outreach tend to be the people that are sending out masses of messages, because if they're only getting 5 responses from 100 messages, that is not a good conversion rate. And you don't want to spend your time messaging people that aren't ready or wanting to hear from you. So continue to message them again and again when they have expressed no interest. So if somebody has dropped off a chat and has expressed interest, that's very different from somebody who has not expressed interest and you continue to message. So if somebody has had a conversation, you've offered them something, they haven't responded, sure, maybe you'll follow up with them once, maybe twice. But if you continue to message them when they haven't said they're ready to move forward or they're interested at all, it becomes something that's spammy, that's salesy, and rude to people. And those are the 3 words you want to avoid when people are receiving your direct messages. Let me know in the comments. I'm sure you've received posts that or DMs that you don't appreciate. Which do you find the most annoying? Is there a certain type of direct message that you can't stand? Let me know in the comments. So now we talked about like what you don't want to do. You kind of want to know what you do want to do, which is show that you care and build a genuine connection. So again, coming into the messages, not thinking me, but thinking about how can we make this a win-win situation. Showing that you care can be as simple as interacting with their posts, then messaging them, or seeing that, oh my goodness, they went to Hawaii recently. I haven't been to Hawaii in 2 years. I've been wanting to go so bad. I'm going to direct message them and say, hey, I saw your beautiful Hawaii photos. I've been wanting to go for years, haven't been there in forever. How was your vacation? That's showing that you're not just messaging anybody that, you are connecting with them personally and you're starting to build that relationship. Second way to do the DMs is let them know where you are coming from. So you don't necessarily have to say, I'm coming from this, but you can say, welcome to my group. And that allows them to know, oh, okay, I've joined her group, or thanks for the friend request. That allows them to know that you're a Facebook friend, or I see you commented on this post. Again, you're just saying, hey, you've connected with me, or you've made some sort of interaction with me, and this is why it's okay, or I am reaching out. Third way is offer support and show up for them. If they say, hey, I have a challenge going on, and you say, yes, I would like to go in, don't just say yes and then not show up for them, because that is part of building the trust. So committing to something and then following through with your commitments, building that trust, building that authority, and building good networking skills. Let me know in the comments what type of messaging you do like doing. And right now, are you feeling less scared than you were before when I was talking about your mentality? So drop in the comments now on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling about direct messaging? Day 4 challenge, starting 30 conversations. Some of you, this might be like, oh, I do this daily, and others of you will be like, are you kidding me? No, I'm not kidding. And notice I say conversations. Conversations does not mean pitch. So look at your group members right now. Probably there's some group members in there that you've never personally welcomed into your group, or maybe you have. If you have, follow up with them. So just starting 30 new conversations. Will all those people respond? Possibly not. But what you're doing is you are putting your foot in the door to open up the opportunity to build genuine connections, build a strong network, build your community, and support the people within your bubble. So starting with 30 conversations is going to help you build your confidence. As those people respond, you can start to connect with those people, get more familiar with direct messaging. And as somebody that has been doing DM outreach for a while now, I know at the beginning it can seem overwhelming or very outside of your comfort zone. And when you realize that it's actually just like if you were having a conversation with somebody at a coffee shop or in the line of a store, or even though it's strangers, it doesn't have to be strange. We're humans helping humans. And again, people buy from people. So by showing that you're human, taking that extra step to interact and connect is going to serve you in the long run. So that is your challenge today. Day 4, you are starting 30 conversations. Tomorrow, we are talking about closing high ticket clients. You do not want to miss it. I'm telling you that much. We're talking about what it takes to actually close high ticket clients, high ticket program, whatever you want to do to reach that 5-figure consistent months. Likely to hit that 5-figure mark, you need to have some sort of high ticket offer. Because if you are only selling $7 ebooks, think about how many $7 ebooks you need to sell in a month to hit that 5-figure mark. Versus selling high ticket, the amount you need to sell becomes less, and the transformation of the person buying becomes often greater. Okay, so we're going to talk about mentality and how to show up and how to sell high ticket efficiently. That is tomorrow, April 9th, 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. Let me know in the comments if you're excited. I'm excited. So you know how people have group members or followers that aren't turning into clients, and they're feeling frustrated because maybe they have a Facebook group or they have an Instagram following or they have a fair amount of LinkedIn connections, but that number becomes irrelevant to them because none of them are actually turning into paying clients. Or maybe you or somebody you know has had a launch and they basically have either nobody opting in or they're not reaching their goals, and it's close to silence. Not a lot of people are interacting, and it's very discouraging, and it can really beat down on yourself or the person you know of because you're not getting that affirmation or boost you needed, especially in the growth stage of your business. That is vital in terms of your mentality moving forward, because you want to have this growth mentality and this confidence going into your launches. Maybe you or someone you know has invested their time and money and haven't gotten results. This is one of the things that breaks my heart in the online space when I hear about people investing in coaches or courses, and they've invested their time and money, and it's so frustrating to them when they don't see the result. And there's many reasons why that could be, but these are the problems that really stick out to me in this service-based provider space. And what I do to guide these types of people in making their transformation is by ensuring them that they are building an audience efficiently and effectively full of engaged community members, because those engaged members are the people that are ready and excited to invest in their offers. I make sure my clients are supported with multiple lead generation systems so they don't have to fear about the inconsistency in signing clients, and they know how to take the next steps in growing their business. Another aspect of myself and my coaching group is launching a successful magnetic offer. So making sure the people are being attracted to them, the right people that they love working with, and the people that love working with them are right there to grab onto their offer and have that major transformation that they are after. Ultimately, the plan for all of my clients, whether it's a short-term program or a longer-term program, I want to ensure that they've learned and they have the knowledge to grow beyond my services. And that comes down to me really seeing how I can benefit long-term my clients' lives. Because if I become a crutch for my clients, to me, I'm not doing my job. I need to provide the resources and the training. They need to take the action, but as soon as they take the action and they take their knowledge, they'll be able to grow beyond my programs and services so their business continues to thrive. So ultimately, all of my clients, this is what I want for them, and this is what describes my ideal client's desires. They have time and money freedom. They enjoy what they do for a living. They're able to support their loved ones, and they work less and make more because life is truly, truly too short to not love what you're doing. When I wake up, I'm excited for the day ahead because I'm living my passion and what is my passion right now. So if this is what describes you and you're like, this is what I need, that is the problems I'm having, this is the transformation I want, and this is the goals I have, comment goals below so I know that this is the right description for you and this is the right, next steps for your business and what you need to prioritize in your business. Let me know in the comments any questions you have. Again, if you're watching live or replay, I will get to your questions. I'm going to pop up my phone now to see if you have any questions currently. Hi, Margaret. Hi, London. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Connie. Hi, Cynthia. I know there's a bit of a delay, so I'm just going to wait 1 minute here for any questions. I'm so excited for tomorrow's call. Let me know in the comments right now, do you have a high ticket offer or are you hoping to build out a high ticket offer soon? Doesn't look like there's any questions so far. I did get a question in the DMs about my strategy calls. So I do free strategy calls. And the reason why that is because it's important for anybody looking to invest in me as a coach. I need to make sure that person is somebody that's going to get a major transformation from my services. And that not only is somebody that I feel I can help, but they feel I can help them. So on our call, what happens is I ask you some questions about your business. We figure out where you're currently at, maybe some challenges you're currently facing, and then we establish what your goals are. And based on where you're at in your goals, I evaluate what part of my service or what form of my service format, whether it's a program or one-on-one, is going to get you to that result while dealing with your situation and looking at you as an individual. So making sure you don't feel and you're not getting a cookie cutter method that you've possibly received before. And that's why I have a hybrid course of the Women's Six-Figure Business Mastermind, which allows me to both work one-on-one and do group coaching to really give my clients the best support possible in achieving their business goals. So on the call, if you're interested in booking, there's a link above to book. You just put in your details, schedule in a time that works for you. We hop on a call, we talk about it. And then if you feel like this is a good fit, I want to go forward, we talk about what that would look like and what the next action steps for you would be in achieving your business goals. Hi, Michelle. Nice to see you. Hi, Margaret. Let me know about your high ticket offer. You can mention it in the comments or you can direct message me. Doesn't look like there's any more questions for today. If you want me to go over certain topics related to closing high ticket clients or dealing with objections, anything along the lines of making sales as a service provider online, feel free to drop it in the comments here and I'll either add it to tomorrow's training or I will answer it during the Q&A section of tomorrow's call. That is it for today, you guys. Get on it and start those 30 conversations. I believe in you. You can do this. And let's go out and make an impact. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. Bye for now.